Yo, this is Crispy B. Today I'm going to be showing you my crib. Let's see where the magic happens and the door's locked. Yo, Crispy B. I'm here today to take a look around my crib, show you what's up, show you where the magic happens. Let's go.
Man, I got so much. Yeah.
Alright, so we got Dr. Banana here mixing up some grub. And our assistant.
Yeah! I get so high, I get so high, and I be blowing, I get so high, higher than we're floating, don't know where we going, night until the morning, we rolling, higher than.
The modern age of chemotherapeutic treatments was soon to follow the introduction of sulfa drugs from Germany in 1936, and the new advances in anesthesia promised better means of conquering surgical pain. Nevertheless, at the start of the 1930s, most medicines were sold without a prescription, and nearly half were compounded locally by pharmacists. In many cases, physicians dispensed medicines directly to patients. Companies often supplied physicians with their favorite formulations. While the medical profession was well established in Europe and America, the pharmaceutical industry was only beginning to develop means of modern medicines to treat pain, infectious disease, heart conditions, and other ailments. Direct application of chemical research to medicine appeared promising during this time, but only a few substances, newly isolated vitamins and insulin, were more effective than treatments available at the turn of the century. The industry's position at the crossroads of science, medicine, and growing healthcare markets nevertheless set the stage for explosive growth. Dr. Calhoun was a doctor during the 1930s who was made famous by sulfa drugs. The medicine that killed Dr. Calhoun's patient was elixir sulfanilamide. During September and October 1937, this drug was responsible for the deaths of more than 100 people in 15 states, as far east as Virginia and as far west as California.
In June 1937, a salesman for the S.E. Messenger Corporation in Bristol, Tennessee, reported demanding the southern states for the sulfonamide drug in liquid form. The company's chief chemist and pharmacist experimented and found that sulfonamide would dissolve in diethyl glycol. The company-controlled lab tested the mixture for flavor, appearance, and fragrance and found it satisfactory. Immediately, the company compounded a quantity of the elixir and sent shipments all over the country.
Yeah, my throat's pretty itchy. I wonder when the doctor's gonna come. It's been like 20 minutes. Hey.
Promiscuous girl, whatever you are.
Did someone call for a doctor?
Yes.
Let's see what we're up against today, sir.
My throat's really itchy.
Is this your friend as well?
Yeah, we've been best buds.
I understand. Let me see. Let me take a look here.
Oh! What? What is it, doctor?
You have strep throat.
Strep throat? What is that?
Well, it's
Is
not
it
good.
coming?
No,
Is it
it
lethal?
can't. But we have ways to treat it.
Oh, that's so good. That's such good news. Do you hear this?
Are you willing to take a tablet or powder?
No,
Are you?
I hate
Well,
tablets.
We
and
have a
powder.
new form of sulfanilamide that is in elixir form. We just
Wait.
dissolved it newly today
That's
in
amazing.
ethylene glycol, and it's been tested already in the lab.
That's such great news, doctor. Thank you so much.
It's used specifically for this, for streptococcal infections. So it's good to go.
Do you think this is? Can I drink this?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, this if you want to administer it now, or if you want to sign some waivers.
Yeah.
Here,
Okay.
sign a couple of these waivers, and then we'll give you some.
Okay. You can give me the medicine as soon as possible, doctor.
Okay. All right. All right. So we got you set up here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Is this it?
Right. Yeah. So you're just going to want to put this is just an elixir form, so we're just going to give you a little bit here, about a squeeze or two, and it should hook you right up.
You hear that, Bruce? Yeah.
Right.
I'm ready, doctor.
Alright. Alright, it should take about 30 minutes to take effect.
I can already see it. I can already taste it. It's working. It's working.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue.
He's dead.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Dr. Calhoun himself later was quoted by saying, realizing that 6 human beings, all of them my patients, one of them my best friend, are dead because they took medicine that I prescribed for them innocently, and to realize that that medicine, which I had used for years in such cases, suddenly had become a deadly poison in its newest form, as recommended by a great and reputable pharmaceutical firm in Tennessee. Well, that realization has given me such days and nights of mental and spiritual agony that I did not believe a human being could undergo and survive. This is an example of the modern time, of the times in the 1930s when drug manufacturers were hardly regulated and were allowed to run rampant.
Congress passed the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938, which banned drugs that were dangerous when used as directed, and required drug labels to include directions for use and appropriate warnings. Pharmacists need to dispense a drug ethically, where this practice would include giving information of drugs in use or new drugs, information on side effects, drug interactions with other drugs or with food, recommendations on drug administration for unique situations, information regarding appropriate drug dosage based on various factors, information on national drug registration, information on administration of drugs, warnings, precautions, and contradictions, storage conditions, and stability.
The drug and the deaths led to the passage of the 1938 Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, which increased the FDA's authority to regulate drugs and today remains the basis for FDA regulation of these products. Oh my gosh. We finally done it. We synthesized it.
What do you want to call it?
Pen.
Is
Sealing.
Penicillin!
The scientists flew to the United States, where they worked with American scientists to develop a means of mass producing what became known as the Wonder Drug. From January to May in 1942, 400 million units of pure penicillin were manufactured. By the end of the war, American pharmaceutical companies were producing 650 billion units a month.
when was the Federal Marijuana Act passed?
The Federal Marijuana Tax Act was officially passed in 1937.
Has there been a federal regulatory law enacted until 1937?
No! However, by 1931, regulations under the Food and Drug Act had limited the importation of cannabis, except for medical purposes.
So what were the two viewpoints of marijuana during this time?
The two contrasting attitudes towards cannabis remained pretty much the same. Reformers feared its use. The drug industry, which used it in rather minor preparations, felt less concern about possible misuse and opposed its regulation. Both sides seemed to agree that cannabis was not as threatening as other drugs, and as inclusion in regulatory laws would be for the purpose of anticipating its popularity once opiates and cocaine were brought under control. Freeze!
Keeping it G ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. Watch a young player do his thing down fucking. I got the whole block fucking. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. Watch a young player do his thing ain't no